Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. My name is Alexandra Gouta. I'm a journalist, and I welcome you all to this discussion with Stuart Flint, Head of Business Global Solutions, Europe and Israel, TikTok. Hello, Stuart. How are you?
Thank you for having me. What a wonderful and delightful experience.
Yes, it is for me too. We've heard some very interesting statistics during the last presentation. Two-thirds of Generation Z trust TikTok more than their doctor on health issues. That's a very interesting statistic. But TikTok seems to be moving beyond Generation Z and reaching more age-agnostic groups and communities of people, if I'm not wrong. And I would like to discuss this with you. TikTok actually came to Europe in 2019, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And it experiences exponential growth and popularity since then. If I'm not mistaken, over 150 million users visit the platform every month. So the app is now available in over 150 markets, and it seems to be offering a new playing field for creative storytelling. This is why brands seem to love it, but that is not always the case with governments and institutions, and I would like to discuss with you how and if this is impacting the business audience of TikTok. So, for those in the audience that may not be so familiar with TikTok, could you please explain very shortly how is it different from other platforms?
Well, I look around this room and I can see everybody's on TikTok, clearly. We've got the right demographic for sure. Well, TikTok is it's an entertainment platform, a video-based mobile entertainment platform. And it's really powered, TikTok, by communities. It's powered by the individuals that thrive and grow and share on the platform. And so this is a really wonderful opportunity for people to have a seat at the table, a seat to have a voice, a place where they can be authentic, they can be themselves, they can be light, they can be joyful, and they can share. And so not only having a seat at the table, but also being able to have a voice at that table is very, very important to them. You mentioned the size. We're over a billion, well over a billion now, global monthly active users, which is absolutely huge. And what does that mean for brands? And I think that's where there's a big point of difference, I think, for TikTok amongst, its competitive set and all media, really, is that authenticity is really, really important. And so brands have an opportunity to engage with audiences in a way that we've never seen before. Mm-hmm. They can be authentic, they can be joyful, they can create experiences that maybe people didn't think about that brand. And so I'm not going to name names, but there are brands that really find it hard to open up, to move away from their brand ambition and their brand goals, and actually being a little bit more lighthearted and connecting with that audience in that platform in a way that they feel comfortable is a massive opportunity for brands and brand advertising.
Mm-hmm. The total adult reach of TikTok seems to be constantly increasing.
Yes.
So I was wondering, there seems to be a diversification of the audience. How big is this diversification? And if the same goes for the content available in TikTok?
Yeah. Well, I think we're all probably aware during the pandemic, there were lots of people adopting TikTok on their phones. And I think we have this idea that it's this young Gen Z dancing, routine, lip-syncing audience. But the reality is that over time, over the last 3 years, has diversified so much. Some recent Kantar research has said that 67% of our audience is over the age of 25. That's huge. That's a huge diversification. And so as that audience grows, so too does the type of content that you're seeing on there as well. And what we're seeing happening is that we're seeing these communities establish almost these niches that are being created. So if you're into cycling talk is a big thing. If you're into food talk, travel, of course. Travel talk is absolutely huge. Book talk, which has been this huge rise of people now adopting books. And it's really been driven culturally and stimulated by these communities, these TikTok audiences that we feel are very, very special and have helped increase the number of book sales, for example, just as one market on its own.
That's very important. I'm a book lover myself, so I find this very important. TikTok tries to develop strategic relationships with creators in order to help them find access to brands. Other platforms have tried to do this in the past with out great success.
Yeah.
So, in what ways is TikTok's approach different? And are you optimistic that you are succeeding in this?
Well, I think we're different. I think we're different because the communities are different. And I think I just wanted to touch on a couple of examples, because I think we think that because it's younger, and that we touched on it just slightly earlier, which is that you couldn't be further from the truth. There is an 87-year-old gentleman on there, Grandpa Joe, 87, and what he does is he gives examples of his life, whether it's he's learning how to skip or cutting a carrot when he's cooking. And so he's inspired. He's got 5.8 million viewers on his content, which is just incredible. Kabi Lame is another one, this Senegalese factory worker from Italy who can't speak English. And so he uses comedy, he uses mime to show his TikToks. He's now become Hugo Boss's favourite model. He's gone on to massive success because of TikTok. These communities are driving this change, and that's the uniqueness of the platform. And that gives brands the opportunity, we think, from a creative standpoint, making sure that they're being themselves, ensuring that they are being authentic. Over 70% of our research that we've done have said that they want brands to be able to use TikTok in a way that means something to them, that's meaningful, that sits perfectly within the platform and doesn't feel weird. It doesn't feel like you're just placing a television ad or a cinema ad in this environment. Mm-hmm. Because whilst it may work, on the whole what we've seen is these types of creative do not work within the TikTok platform. And so there's an opportunity, we think, and the uniqueness of brands to think differently about the way that they go about their creative. I think one final point is we have democratized creativity. Anybody in this room can be a creative. And we've seen massive success of people turning themselves into bananas, for example. Incredible. And it's brilliant. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. But I think we've always gone to creative agencies because they've been the ones that have been powering brilliant advertising. The reality is that you can pick up your phone, in your pocket you have the tools now available to be as creative as you want to be. And I think brands are starting to realise that and adopt that. And so democratisation of creativity has been a big key difference for us, we think, in the marketplace.
Mm-hmm. And this brings me to my next question. Because we officially entered the creators era, creators economy era. And when you talk about user-generated content, maybe brand and consumer safety turns out to be a great challenge. So what does TikTok do on this level in order to protect both brands and consumers?
I think this is a challenge for all tech businesses, I think, in general. We take this incredibly seriously. It's paramount to everything we do. The bedrock of our business, from the CEO that disseminates right through the business, is it has to be about safety first. And so we have now over 40,000 trust and safety employees, 40,000 globally, that are protecting and looking after both the consumers and also the advertisers within it. And so they've created a number of tools, not only through moderation, to ensure that we have the right type of content on the platform and they don't break any of our community guidelines, but equally we've created tools where the control is in the hands of the consumer, where they can switch time, they can put timers on how much content they watch. Parents can have control over their younger individuals that are in their family. And so these things are very, very important to make sure that people feel that they're in control of their own destiny, but equally that we have these moderation teams that are looking after both the consumers and the advertisers. The final point I'll make on that is that brands are also equally and understandably want to make sure that they're in an environment that is safe for them. So we use third-party partners that actually regulate and make sure that the measurement of what they're seeing on TikTok is accurate and is a safe environment for those brands. So third-party partners are equally very, very important to us. And so marking our own homework is not a good idea because we need to make sure that we are verified in the right way.
40,000 moderators is a big number.
It is. That's a lot of people. But I think as we've grown and our audiences have grown, so therefore the number of pieces of content that are activated on the platform. And so it's important to see that growth in the same way that we've seen the growth of our audience.
It's 1.3 billion, if I'm not mistaken.
It is around that number, yes.
Oh.
It's huge.
So my next question is about Greece. The tourism and travel industry is particularly important for Greece. So I would like to ask you, how could Greek companies, but also organizations, make the best use of TikTok in order to expand their market reach?
Yeah, partially the reason that we're here is to have a conversation. We had a very wonderful conversation with the Group Tourism Board last year here, who wanted to use TikTok as a strong platform for them. What we've seen change, I think, in TikTok even in the last 12 months, is that people are starting to search on TikTok. It's a place where people want to discover. In fact, well over 3/4 of our audiences have said that they go to TikTok for discovery, for an understanding of what's the hottest destination to go this year. When I'm in that destination, what are the restaurants I want to eat in? What are the bars that are very cool? What do I drink when I'm in the bar? What is the best beach to go to? Where do I look for sunset? So this inspiration and this discovery is becoming a big tool within the TikTok community, and it's really driving some massive success results for small businesses that exist within those tourist areas as well. Restaurants, bars, etc., etc. And so we're seeing more of that happen. So that voyage of discovery is wonderful. We managed to convince the Greek Tourism Board to utilise the platform in the right way. They saw 25 million impressions from their campaign, an ad campaign which was promoting Greece. Now, it wasn't just saying that you have wonderful beaches in this fantastic country. It's also saying we have a ski resort. And these are the things you didn't know about Greece. We have today 6 creators who have been in Delphi yesterday. They're on their way to Athens as we speak. And they're looking to bring to life the ancient Greece in a way, some of the mythology, some of the drama of Greece as much as anything else, as well as the inspiration around great food, great people, and the wonderful cities that you have here on mainland Greece, but also equally within the islands as well. So they're on a really interesting tour right now. And then the final example I give is GenZ. We've been working with them as a customer, as a partner in the last 12 months, and they were trying to drive a much younger audience to utilise their airline. It was a club that they were creating, the generation of Aegean, and they saw tremendous results from utilisation of TikTok and using creative in the right way. And I think airlines in particular should be brave and put the phone in the hands of the cabin crew and let them experience and create TikToks on behalf of the company, because I can't think of anything better when you land in a destination around the world and the door opens. It's that moment where you get very excited. Everyone's grabbing their bags and you're trying to find your worth. But that moment, I think, that can be captured on TikTok is awesome. The other thing I mentioned about tourism, and I think this is important, is that these community talks that exist, they inspire travel in a way. So food is a very, very big part of, I think your travel experience. The restaurant, you're dying to know where to eat and what to do. There's a wonderful example of this American woman that sees a TikTok in Italy of somebody cutting through this wonderful pastry. I believe it's in Naples. She then turns to her computer, fakes a booking. You then see her get on your plane. So she's creating her own TikTok now where she's on a plane, she lands, she goes straight to the delicatessen or the pastry shop where she's seen this beautiful pastry, and then she tries it for real. So you see this woman's journey from discovery to execution of her own. And so we're finding it's really interesting that this cycle of content is happening more and more, this infinite loop of discovery to content to purchase and then sharing. And so this infinite loop continues to happen, both in terms of the way people purchase, but also the experiences that they're having on the platform itself.
I love this example. What I would like to ask you is the thing I said in my introduction as well, that brands and advertisers seem to love TikTok, but that is not always the case with European and also US institutions and governments.
Yes.
Is this impacting your business audience and community in Europe and US, and how?
It's a great question. It's safe to say we've seen some scrutiny TikTok over the past couple of years, and we take this incredibly seriously. We think there's a lot of misinformation that's been handled by, certainly in terms of the government relations that you were talking about. We do a fabulous job in trying to build relationships with these government officials and government relations individuals and to really educate them about what is TikTok. And so we've been working incredibly hard to do that. From a brand standpoint, we at this point have not seen any change in the cycles of advertising and the partnerships themselves. Nobody's left us in any dramatic way. I think the geopolitical situation is really driving what TikTok is all about at the moment. And actually the reality is that brands, I think, understand that. But they also know that there is a huge audience for them. They also understand that actually TikTok is really supporting small to medium-sized and larger partners in the market. You know, a lot of brands rely on TikTok in order to thrive and grow their own businesses. And we've seen some massive successes. I spoke to somebody last night that said that they had their business and without TikTok it wouldn't be the business it is today. And that was a Greek business, a local Greek business that I think is just a wonderful story. We love stories like that. And so people rely on TikTok. And so I think the geopolitical thing is really what's driving, I think, that misinformation. And I think we are still, and will continue to do, a very, very good job because we take it very seriously. We have to be responsible as a platform. It's our responsibility to create a safe space for individuals to thrive and grow and these communities to really enjoy and have a wonderful experience within our platform without fear of bullying or any of those harmful things that we see in other platforms. So you know, we're in a really wonderful position here, I think, to support and help and educate governments in order to make sure that we can quash those feelings and that misunderstanding, I think.
So you consider those fears unjustified? And since we are here in Delphi, and the Oracle is just around the corner,
yes.
We've got around 3 minutes for a last question. What would you say are the key trends that may prevail in the campaigns on TikTok? Let's say over the next 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
I know it's difficult to say something like that, but
how far can we look? I mean, I did go and I ran down to the Oracle and asked that question actually, so I have the answer. What I think what we will see and will continue to see thrive over the next 3 years is video and the interactions that people are having with video on their mobile phones is not going to change. So if brands and companies are not engaging with mobile video right now, please do. It's going to thrive and continue to grow. These generations that are coming through are using it more and more. So I would say that video is definitely still going to be there. Where things have changed and where video becomes incredibly exciting, I think, is commerce. We probably felt a bit of this during the pandemic, where we were ordering more from online stores or our favorite online facilities that were then delivering to our doors. And I think commerce is going to be a big growth area, a big growth engine for mobile video, but in particular for TikTok. Both from an advertising point of view and how we help people click to buy, but equally the creation of TikTok Shop in the future over the next 3 years is going to be huge for us, where we enable and help and support brands and retailers to activate a new audience that are thriving in an authentic way that is growing and also with high energy and joy. And that's what we're aiming to do, I think, over the next 3 years. That's where I think we'll see a lot of growth. And I think that's our prediction. That's why I asked the Oracle yesterday, you know, are we going to continue to grow it in commerce? And I think that's going to be a big future for a lot of brands. We've seen some really interesting trends. If you even look at Southeast Asia, people buying houses and cars online. I mean, it's just tremendous. And so it doesn't worry me or concern me the fact that people are going to start ordering their cars that will be delivered to their driveways in the near future, I think, through video commerce. And so watch this space. I think it's going to be big. And I very much know, and at the center of that, platforms such as TikTok will be there for sure.
Okay, so we are exactly in time, Stuart. I keep the words authenticity, high energy and joy.
Yes.
I wish them to all of us. Thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for attending.